with Dr. Proven Adzri Emmanuel. Join me as we have an interesting discussion and conversation. Please, you're welcome to today's segment.
Thank you very much. So my name is Dr. Proven Adzri Emmanuel, and I'm the manager of the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory, where we are here today. And you're welcome.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. Please, Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory. Can you tell us a bit about it and what goes on over here?
So, the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory is a center that's we do astronomy research. Previously, let me just give a brief background. Previously, they used to call this place Kutunse Earth Station, and the people in the community, they call it satellite. So the junction is called satellite. But what it does previously is that it is used to take data from satellites, Intelsats and the rest, and then that is what gives us the backbone of our communication in the 80s. But today, it is being converted into what is called a radio telescope. And that means that it's able to only receive and not transmit. And this project started more than, I think, since 2011, 2012. And it has been spearheaded by the government of South Africa through what is called the Square Kilometre Array South Africa. But today they are called the GRAO, or South African Radio Astronomy Observatory. And they train the Ghanaian scientists, engineers on how to convert this telescope from telecom to radio astronomy, and then providing all the infrastructure and all the research developments from that time up to now. And currently it is now a functional radio telescope, and it is the largest radio telescope in Africa. South Africa has the second largest, in terms of size, South Africa has the second largest, which is 26 meter in diameter, but ours is 32 meter in diameter. But South Africa is still way ahead because they have many more telescopes in what is called the Hatobestuk, and then the Cat 7, and then now they have the Meerkats, which is 64 dishes, and they're going to expand that again. So that's just the beginning of the radio astronomy journey in Ghana. Yeah,
that sounds great. That means Ghana, we are getting somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Please, I would like to know what specifically do you do at this place and your role?
Okay, so I'm a research scientist, and then I use the telescope to conduct research. And then apart from that, I also have to ensure that this place is working in order to get international collaborations for this place to be working, to work with the various teams. We have lots of teams that work to ensure that this telescope is working, from electronics team to electrical team to signal chain to mechanical. I have to work with the other managers to ensure that the telescope is maintained, so that anytime you want to use it, it's working. And then apart from that, also other administrative duties that I have to do. Then apart from that, then I also do my own scientific research.
Oh, that sounds great. That means you have enormous activities or schedule you always partake in day in, day out.
Yeah, always busy.
Yeah. I also want to know, I mean, you've talked about the trajectory, how this place began and then the processes. So I want to know, what are some of the technological advancements that have gone on over here, that has occurred over here, and how has it helped to boost the capabilities, your capabilities and that of others?
Okay, so in terms of technology, a lot have gone into this place. If you've seen this place in 2010 to 2012, you see that it has really been transformed.
Okay.
Yeah, from 2000 to 2010, this place was not much in use. It was under Vodafone, but they were not using the telescope itself. were just using the offices. And so we had to go through a lot of technological engineering wise in terms of mechanical. So when you go out, you see these big four legs on the dish. That's called the quadruple legs. They were removed and refabricated. Engineers or technicians from Ghana were involved in that, and they were given special training to be able to do this special kind of welding of these parts. And then also in terms of electronics, all the circuit boards that you see later, all those things were built from scratch. The South Africans helped our team to be able to learn how to do all this kind of, so that everything is working well. And also in terms of communication signal chain, how to process or how to ensure that your signal from the dish is able to get into your back-end computer systems without any loss. And then also when you get into the rack room, that's where the back-end on all the computers are. We have been trained on how to manage all these things, how to know where this is going. If anything breaks down, you have to then know where that is. And then even if you cannot do it, you need to know at least some first hand where what is and what should be. You need to know all those things. So it has been a very good learning curve for us. For me, after doing first degree in physics, I didn't even know I would end up in astronomy, but events led very, very interesting things led me here. And then I've been able to learn a lot from the theoretical physics to the practical aspects, to learning how to operate the telescope, how to reduce the data, how to ensure that all the back-end, high-end systems are working. It has been a very good learning curve, and this technology has actually helped to improve our life and all our people, I think, because we have all been learning something new from it. And I also say that in terms of technology, recently some few upgrades have also occurred, which has really helped the telescope in terms of the receiver. So we have got a new receiver replaced. This was just in February this year. And then also we've got some updates on the weather station, that if you are inside and you are observing or using the telescope, you'll be able to know what's happening outside in terms of the weather, if it's raining, if the wind is so much, the pressure outside, you'll be able to know all those things. And a lot of work has also been done in terms of the power systems. They were scattered all those times, but now they have all been centralized, and then new units have been fixed, which makes the power system all streamlined. Then just in the last 2 weeks, we had the latest technological upgrade, which is called the active hydrogen maser. And this active hydrogen maser is a very expensive equipment, and it's what will give us our timing system. We want our timing system to be very, very accurate, because there are times that the telescope takes data together with other telescopes in the world. You don't want your time to be on and off. You don't want your time not to be accurate. So that's one of the latest things that have taken place over here.
That sounds impressive. So that means there are things happening over here that is making GRAO a better place.
Oh yes.
And it's impressive.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, so I would say that all our collaborators outside are very happy with this latest updates, especially what has just happened in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, because it's something that's one of the major upgrades that we are looking for, to see that the telescope is ready. Yeah, and it has happened.
Wow.
So really.
Over here at Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory, I believe you do a lot with cosmic phenomenon. Can you tell us exactly what cosmic? I'm sure my viewers would like to know what cosmic phenomenon is, and the ones that is being studied. What is being studied over here as far as cosmic phenomenon is concerned?
Okay. So cosmic phenomenon is anything happening in the skies.
Okay.
So when you look up in the night, you see stars, you see the moon, you see the planets. You want to know what is happening to them. That's cosmic phenomenon. And for instance, you see some stars in the night. Some of them are bluish or very whitish. It's the same as bluish. And some of them, you see that they are reddish or brownish. So the stars that are bluish, they are very young stars. They have just been born.
Okay.
And the stars that are reddish, they are very old stars that are about to die. And so stars have the time they are born, the time that they live, and then the time that they die. And then we want to study what is happening to them, because we want to know how are they being formed, what is causing their formation. We want to have very good evidence to show that this is what is happening. And where these stars are, they're very far from us. We cannot take a plane today, say we are going to the next star. It will take you maybe 1,000 years to get there. But we want to know. So what is happening is that this radio telescope can help us to study some of these cosmic phenomena. The waves from these star-forming regions of cosmic phenomena can be received from the radio with the radio telescope. And you can analyze that, and then you can make some inference based on that. So, for instance, one active research that we do here is in star-forming regions, and then we study what is called methanol masers. And these methanol masers, they are just like lasers. So if you have seen a laser before, sometimes as children we have some laser lights that are reddish. You'll be throwing it on people. That's a laser. And then so we have something like that in the universe or in this around where the stars are. But it is not a laser, it is a maser. So the difference there is just the L and the M. The L for the laser that you play with is light, but this one is called microwave. So microwave amplification of stimulated emission of radiation. That's maser. So maser is just an acronym.
Okay, so microwave amplification of stimulated emission
of radiation.
Yes. Maser.
Yeah, that's maser.
Oh, okay.
So with this telescope, we are able to detect these methanol masers. They are very bright signatures that you can get onto your through your telescope, and then we are able to want to know what is happening to these star forming regions. It's a work that I've done for some number of years since the time I was doing my PhD, and I'm still doing methanol masers. And in fact, I like them because they are very interesting. You're able to know from that data whether the star is moving from you or coming towards you, whether it's a young star. We also want to know what is causing something about them called periodicity. That means that the star flares up or the region flares up periodically. So let's say every 30 days you see very bright light coming from there, or every 90 days very bright light coming from there. So in fact, during my PhD, I discovered one of them that was periodic, and that happens every 92 days. Every 92 days, you see very bright light going up that region, and we want to know why. And one of the school of thought is that, you have accreting this or some rocky materials fall onto the central place where the star is burning every 90 days. So that is just a school of thought. Yeah.
Every 3 months,
roughly. Yeah, every 3 months something happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then also sometimes it can be up to 300 days, sometimes 800 days. Yes. So there are various variations of this periodicity, and we want to know what is happening at all these places. And then also one thing also we can study with the telescope is what is called pulses. So pulses are another group of cosmic phenomena in which the star dies. And when the star dies, there are two things that happen when the star dies. Either the star will form a supernova, where you kids, I'm sure that you're very interested in knowing what a supernova.
Yeah.
That means to explode with very bright light. And then, or it can die and then it will implode. That means it will not blow out, but it will blow in and becomes very small. And when they become very small, they spin or they rotate very fast. So it will surprise you to know that some of them rotate more than 1,000 times in 1 second.
More than 1,000 times in a second.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, so that's what is pulses. That's what pulses is about. And then with this telescope here, we are able to observe some pulses. And so it's a lot of interesting research work that we do here. And then also active galactic nuclei. A lot of things that this telescope can be used. So our research team is very small. We want a lot of young people who are in universities, study science, come in and then come and help us so that some of us can also be free.
In terms of collaboration, has GRAO collaborated with any African country? I mean, I heard you've spoken about South Africa, what they are doing and all that. Has there been any collaboration with any African country?
Okay. So I'll say that, let me start from South Africa first. This radio astronomy project has come as a result of the good work of South Africa.
Okay.
So South Africa won the bid to host what is called the Square Kilometer Array. I think in 2013, 14, I'm not sure about the exact year. But in that bid, South Africa competed with Australia to host what is called the Square Kilometer Array. South Africa proposed that it's going to work with 8 other African countries so that it can bring them also on board. And a part of those countries is Ghana. So we have Ghana, Mauritius, Kenya, Madagascar, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and forgotten the 8th one. It's always 8 countries. So that's how come we have this project. And so the project started with the help of South Africa, the funds, resources from the government of South Africa through their Department of Science and Technology. And they have been our main sponsors for all these years. And we are always grateful to South Africa for what they have done. Their ministers were here during the launching with our President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. So South Africa has been a core part. Without South Africa, we would not have been where we are today. And then through that, this collaboration has spiraled into the other African countries. So we have collaboration with many of the African countries. Again, still on the same project. So for instance, we have what is called the DARA project, which is funded by the UK government. But within that project, I think from 2020, there are about other African countries, they come to be trained here in radio astronomy. So even the picture just behind me, you can see they were here, many of the countries, Kenya, Namibia, Botswana, Madagascar, Zambia, Namibia, they were here, and then they have been trained in astronomy using this radio telescope. And then apart from that, also we've also had internship students from Zambia also coming to study here. And then we also have collaboration with other African countries like Kenya, their space agency, we have collaboration with them. And then researchers in the Kenya universities also, and even Mauritius. We have one student also here who is also doing some work in Mauritius. And we have collaboration with many of the African countries. Even with, we are also trying to establish some active collaboration with Nigeria also in terms of this astronomy. So we have a lot of collaboration. Astronomy is a very open field. There are no secrets there. We have a lot of collaboration with scientists and researchers across the globe. You go for conferences, you meet them, you share ideas, they also come. Yeah. So that's on the African continent.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, Africa, we are doing a lot. And Africa is achieving something massive as far as astronomy and space science is concerned. Please, I also want to find out, aside collaboration with within the confines of Africa, have you had any collaboration with internationally, I mean outside Africa?
So, yes, we have international collaborations. Part of one of our major collaborations have been with the UK through the University of Leeds, through the project called the Ghana, the DARA project. That's the development of Africa through radio astronomy. Through that project has been running have run for about 7 years. There was another project before that, which is called the Real Society Grant, and then the Adzri came. So that was a collaboration with the University of Leeds in the UK, University of Manchester. So the pulsar project that I talked about, the equipment for the pulsar timing is provided by University of Manchester. Most of the fund for the computing systems and the things we have here are provided through the grant to the University of Leeds. We also have collaboration with other agencies through which there are other people come from Japan, Europe, and the rest. We also have collaboration with the US, that's the University of California, Santa Cruz. They are also funding us now to keep this place running and to do some many other interesting stuff. And then also we are happening a new front of collaboration also with what is called GIVE. So GIVE is a joint institute for VLBI, something I forgot the last E, but that is where we are we are using our telescope to observe the cosmic phenomenon at the same time with these telescopes in Europe and Africa. So that is true. The colorator is at a place called GIVE. So that's where all the data will get to, then they correlate it or they put the data together. So it's like you're mapping the data together, and then you'll be able to analyze it. So we have a lot of interaction and collaboration also happening at many of these places.
Okay, so talking about all these collaborations and all that, are there challenges? What are some of the challenges that GRAO are facing? And how are you able to combat yourself and clear some of them?
So, one of the key challenges is always to do with funding, and then also manpower, because we need a lot of people. So I think in the beginning you asked me what I'm doing. I was telling you, it seemed like doing a lot because there are not many people. So we need human resource, young people to come lead some research and all that, so that the place can be much more vibrant than it is now. And then also in terms of funding, also we appeal to the government to pump in more funds. Yeah, the government has done a lot, but we still want more. That's our scientists. We want more, so that we can do more research. Yeah, and then also come out with more innovative products that will be of benefits to the country.
Okay. So more funding, more human resource, and more technology advancement is needed. Okay, please, I also like to find out, how do you see the future of radio astronomy in Ghana? What's the future of radio astronomy?
Okay. Radio astronomy is have a very bright future in this country. This is just one of the telescopes we are using. We have 2 more telescopes that we have not started working on them. We need funding to do that. So even if you say that in the next 5 years, that's another project, or the next 10 years. This one already has taken more than 10 years, and we have not even fully started, let me say so. We're now coming to start this one, and then for the next 10 years, we're going to use the big telescope. Then we have other 2 telescopes, 16 meter and 9 meter, going to expand it in radio astronomy. Then we have a new project that is coming up, I'm sure from next year, which is called the 2-element interferometer, where we want to have 2 and 3 meter dishes and combine them with other African countries to observe the cosmic phenomena at the same time. The more telescopes you have, the better, let me just put it simply, the better picture you have. So the telescope it runs like a single pixel camera. If you have more telescopes, you have better resolution, and then you can have. So the future of astronomy or radio astronomy is very bright, and I would encourage the young people to look at this area. A lot of people don't see the opportunities. Apart from just the normal research that I'm talking about, there are a lot of innovative technology that come out of astronomy. For instance, the computer science, the data analysis alone, you can take that skill and go to another industry. We are fine with that if you leave us. Once that is still helping the economy, that's fine. Yeah, and then also many other technologies like the computing servers, the data handling, how to work on all these things, also how to build some of these systems, even the receivers that we have. We are looking at funding to get students to be able to build these receivers here in Ghana, and then so that other telescopes we can just deploy those receivers to them. The electronic systems is also another very interesting thing. We want to have people who are building various components. We have an electronics lab there that we have some few equipment in it. We want to move it further so that it can be able to be used to fabricate more things. And then also some of the technology also are now being used in medicine. Like we have an instrument here which is called the roach. And the roach, if you're able to learn how to program and do that, you can use the same technology to look at the heartbeats, anomalies in the heartbeat or certain parts of the body that there are some irregularities. You can use that technology to capture such signals and also to analyze them. For instance, the Wi-Fi technology that we have is coming from astronomy, and then also the X-ray things we have. All those are technologies that came from astronomy. So you see that the future of astronomy is very bright, and especially in Ghana, we still have a lot to do. We still have a lot, and we want to even expand this place to have more telescopes at other parts of the country. The university should also have it so they do their research. So the future is very bright, very bright. Yeah. Thank you.
And you believe Ghanaians have accepted radio astronomy research?
Oh yes, yes. Because when you interact with the young people, the students that come here, it's always an interesting field for them. They want to do so.
Thank you so much for
You're
coming.
welcome.
Thank you, viewers, and thanks for staying in touch for today's segment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media channels. And also don't forget to come to Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory to learn more and to help make Ghana a better place.